This is ION Hong Kong with Key.
And this is Harminder, and we'll be discussing the top news for the week involving Hong Kong and China. And welcome to the 56th episode of ION Hong Kong. Hello, Key.
Hello.
I hope everybody likes our setting here. It's very like a dating show today.
Yeah, it is completely red.
Yes, yeah. If it was heart-shaped, then for sure this would be a dating show. But we're using a different studio because we're recording a different day. So I feel a little crazy. Could be from the water I'm drinking lately.
Why?
Well,
it doesn't really matter, actually, according to the government.
Yeah, okay. So they found lead in the water of a lot of public housing estates.
How did it be discovered?
Well, some are blaming the pipes, some are blaming the soldering material, some are blaming the faucets, so nobody really knows at this point. But I have a feeling it's going to come down to the mainland-made pipes.
Right, but the thing is that the government at the very beginning already named someone.
The plumber?
The plumber,
yeah.
Saying that he was the one who was responsible for that.
Yeah.
And then the plumber immediately trying to
defend himself.
Yeah, defend himself, and saying that he was actually only the worker or employee of one company.
Right.
And then the company bought all these material.
Right. So I don't believe. How can it be the plumber's fault? The guy's putting it together or using. They're like, oh, the soldering material that he used, it leaked in. Some expert says that's not really possible. Right. Now, what is possible is over time, because if you use copper pipes, pure copper pipes, copper itself is an antibacterial. Okay, that's why you use copper for your piping.
Right.
You want to use copper because from beginning to end, because it's naturally antibacterial. Now, if you spray some colloidal silver or mix it in, oh my God, you got like great bacteria and virus and pathogen fighting material. Problem is, somebody cut a corner and mixed the copper, most likely, with lead, which is cheap.
Have you ever wondered why that we always have to boil our water in Hong Kong?
Well, it's actually an old habit, because back in the day, before chlorine and all these, well, now we're using like a lot of chemicals to clean the water because of the source.
Name it.
I'll name it after. Before we were worried about pathogens, not necessarily from the source of it, but from our water tank or the pipes. They weren't cleaned very well or on a regular basis, and the piping, nobody really cared or maintained or cleaned them. You know.
Can they also use copper so that it all the way clean?
Absolutely, but it costs money.
I see.
Yeah. Stainless steel is cheaper. That's why they use stainless steel. But copper is much better. Plus, you're getting some copper in you, which your body needs anyways as a trace mineral, which is good for you. It gives you hair color.
So lead is not one of the minerals that we need?
No, we don't need lead. Why do you think we have unleaded fuel?
I see.
Right? When lead was in the fuel, they did a study, and where there was a lot of smog, like in Los Angeles, they realized people were a lot more agitated, angry, and crazy. When they took it out, those incidents went down. So lead has an effect on the human brain and plus our overall health. Now, what lead is good for to smelt into is bullets. Lead-tipped bullets. So you're going to kill the guy, might as well use a lead. Why not, right? So that's fine, but it shouldn't be anywhere near our food, water, or even products that we use.
Right. So, but what do you think about the government blaming one single employee?
Scapegoat. I mean, how can you blame one guy? I have no proof of this, but my feeling is that the government does not want it to source back to the mainland factories that are producing substandard parts for the public housing estates, because the contractor for public housing estates is a mainland company. So they're subcontracting out all the work. Now, if it comes down to pipes and parts coming from a mainland distributor that they find out was using substandard parts and lead, people are going to have a backlash here automatically. I'm going to say no more mainland companies, no more mainland parks, no more mainland this and that. But there's already backlash overall.
One of the
add to it.
one of the events happening in the Legislative Council this week is that they are trying to fall out the mainland contractors, and then because the Pandem legislature they didn't really attend, so it was vetoed by the pro-establishment this week.
Oh, not surprised.
Well, one of the funny thing about this incident is that CY Learn also came out, and then he tried to respond to the public and saying that no one can prove that the pipes made in Hong Kong has no problem.
We don't make pipes in Hong Kong.
Exactly.
That much. I mean, I know we do. We kind of do, but it's for very small replacements in the house.
Yes.
Not entire estates.
Yes.
We just do not have the manufacturing capacity for that anymore.
It shows that he's really trying to defend his motherland.
I know you want to say something else.
And then trying to, and then even would do something or say something to tarnish the reputation of Hong Kong, and saying that, oh, you guys are not that great, and then
exactly. He is proving himself to be more one country than two systems, right?
Right.
And this is why nobody who's not a sycophant doesn't really trust him. And say what you will about the last couple of CEs. I don't know what they were doing overall, but they were not so open about their allegiance.
Right.
Like this chief executive is, which is fine. Just don't sugarcoat it. Don't hide behind it. Don't cloak yourself.
But throughout all this incident, I think the PR job done by the government was rather bad.
Yep.
Because
actually, the ministers weren't doing that bad. It's CY Leung.
I mean the housing.
Yeah, Matthew Cheung and not Matthew Cheung. The transport and welfare and the other guy.
He's okay, I think, but the thing is that about sometimes when they try to pull out these experts,
Anthony Cheung, sorry.
Yeah, Anthony Cheung,
yeah.
And then this expert from the health department, and then I don't know whether they are actually answering the question or not, and then
because they don't have the answers yet, or if they do, they're trying to protect the culprit.
Yeah, you know who that we should name.
Yeah,
and they even said that on average, then it's okay for your whole life to have some lead. It's not harmful.
Okay, traces of lead will not kill you. Okay, we're talking about traces. Actually, your body needs some lead. It does.
Right.
Right? But such a trace is not even funny. Because what's your DNA made of? Lead. There's lead in your DNA. You need lead. But not at this level. Right. Then it becomes poisonous.
Right.
Right? So if anybody says, well, we need some lead. Yes, very, very small traces of it daily. Right? But not at this level. Then it becomes poisonous.
But I read from the newspaper saying that according to the so-called international standard of the water quality, it seems that they do not tolerate any lead inside.
Well, we shouldn't. We shouldn't tolerate lead. We shouldn't tolerate mercury. We shouldn't tolerate a lot of stuff that poisons us, but it's there, right? Look at our food. It's totally poisonous with all the pesticides and everything. They say, well, if you eat this much or drink this much, you won't be. But how do you know? How do you control the dosage? How do you control how much somebody eats? What if a big fat guy eats tainted, sprayed, they're using this stuff called Roundup, which is what's the technical? Glyphosate. It's by Monsanto. And they spray it on these crops, and now the UN is saying it's a carcinogen, right? But then they're saying, well, if you eat only this much, it's okay. No, it's not. You can't control the dosage.
Right.
Right? It's like how we dump fluoride in our water. We cannot control the dosage,
And yesterday, another expert came out and said that how they test the water also quite controversial, because they said they will let the water run for like some minutes, and then they will use those water after 3 or 4 minutes to test those water. And then the argument that he put forward was that because you wouldn't drink the same water during the day, so different time of the water will be different.
That's totally ridiculous. The government should be very, very clean about it. We're going to find out who did it. We're going to make them pay one way or another, and we will release a full and transparent investigation. That's how you have confidence in a government. That's how you give confidence to the public. But this government wants to run itself like it's a opaque mainland totalitarian government instead.
He seems quite angry today.
Well, I'm angry because I'm quite upset because I don't like hypocrisy. I don't like two-face. I don't like all this nonsense that this government puts out. They're so reluctant to talk to the public. They only like they love to control the media and who they talk to, how they talk to them. They rarely give one-on-one interviews. The chief executive never gives it a one-on-one interview because they cannot handle real questions. Right? It's only when they have to promote some package that they might start making the rounds.
I have to disagree. Actually, I think most of the government officials they were willing to give interview before this term of CE, and like Donald Zhang and other officials at that time, they would go on the interview with others, but not until CY Leung. And it's
pro-establishment, same thing. They just do not go to interviews like they used to. They're quite afraid of what they're going to be asked.
And it also seems to me that I find these officials who are handling this matter quite arrogant as well.
Yeah.
I mean, how could you really think that we are stupid and saying something stupid and then you can get away? That's actually an insult to most Hong Kong people, I say.
Well, some people just don't see it that way. Some people see them as some sort of like mother figure.
Mother figure.
Yeah. The other figure, right? But we'll move on from that and we'll see what happens later on. Our previous guest, Ken Jeong of the Civic Party, he won a judicial review, or sorry, granted a judicial review, because they are refusing to name the 7 police officers that assaulted him. And it's been months. It's going to be a year soon, And he doesn't even know their names.
Right.
Right? The police continually play games, are being very farcical with their entire process. They are setting a precedent to try to get away with doing illegal acts.
Right.
It's that simple.
And I think the lawyer for the police officer, he puts forward a very funny argument in court, saying that because the video only showed the shadows, so the shadow comes out again. Don't give me that.
Who was on duty? Who was supposed to cover that area? Clearly you could see the people who picked him up.
Right.
Okay.
And actually, I remember there was a very clear picture from
picking him up.
Yeah, picking him up, and then you will see all these guys. How?
Yeah.
Why does it matter whether it's a shadow in the video or not?
Some stuff is getting really out of hand, like a woman being sent to jail because her breast assaulted the officer.
I think the only reason why the breast can assault an officer, the first thing, she must be wearing some bra like Madonna in the
spikes and points.
Exactly. If not, how could the breast attacking a male officer, or the male officer is gay? Then he feel hurt or got assaulted or intimidated by the breasts. If not, how could a straight person?
I didn't know gay people were so intimidated by breasts.
You don't know.
Oh.
Let's think about it for a straight person, and if someone using their penis and hitting you, then you will be very scared.
Okay, somebody slapped me in my face with a penis.
Exactly.
That's different.
Yeah, exactly.
This wasn't breasts aren't exactly private parts. Who God knows where a penis is.
Something sexual then.
It's just
You
fat.
just find that it's right?
Okay, fine, but still, regardless, this is ridiculous.
You pretend that you're gay and then you think about the breast.
True
you would
that
just say,
what was it? The officer bumped into her. How did the video show?
I didn't really see
Me
it
neither,
quite clearly.
to be honest. I do apologize for that, but come on. What, did she go to jail for 10 months?
No, not that.
That was
long.
another case,
yeah,
right?
Another case.
Another case there, they went 10 months. Well, you know what? No. Didn't the magistrate say to that 10 months case, this is to protect the morale of the police? So that's when sending you to jail? What in the world?
I think it's general sentencing guideline that if you attack a police officer, find guilty of attacking the police officer, it will be is a custodial sentence, and it will be long. And I think it's only just one of the reasons. And but the thing is that I just read it. I remember on that day the reason why people got so agitated was that they said that these police officers shouting to the crowd, saying that they will rape some girls, and that's why they got so agitated. But of course, these are what the other people at the scene said.
Things are going downhill fast in this city, and I'm worried. Another story was WikiLeaks released some emails between the ICAC, Simon Che, principal investigator of the ICAC, and the Singapore branch of hacking team for a program called Galileo. Now, Galileo is a remote control hacking suite for governments that wish to access computers and mobile devices running on all platforms. Now, I have no problem with police using this program with a court order.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is about the surveillance, interception and surveillance ordinance are on the table of Legislative Council.
Yeah.
People and activist group, they're asking to give more power to the commissioner so that they can, examine all these applications from the authorities. But it seems that the government is too lazy to give the power to the commissioner, and they don't want to widen the power.
If they widen their power, what is?
It means that the commissioner can, look at more documents and can, tighten the control and have more, control over these authorities using these interception or surveillance devices.
We certainly have a people's government, don't we? Apparently that means working against the people instead of for the people. Nelson Wong, Democratic Party member, who was famous for trying to get his party colleagues to vote for the political reform package and actually tried to start a petition to gather support, was thrown out of the Democratic Party.
He said he was shocked.
He was shocked. He was thrown out 17-7.
I was shocked that he was shocked.
You were shocked that he was shocked. Okay. And he still says it's he's defending his actions and all that. And
I think that when Ronnie Tong
he'll probably join that.
I think he should. And then when Ronnie Tong said that he would withdraw from Civic Party, and then this guy came out and said that I would love to run for DP. I was
Nelson, what are you doing?
Whatever.
Yeah.
So now, coming to a very interesting topic is that book fair. Every year we have a book fair in the summertime.
The largest book fairs in the world, yes.
Yeah, and I think one of the book is quite controversial because it contains some obscene images.
Well, some consider obscene, like myself. because I can actually see the sexual undertones and the and the meaning behind them. I mean, how old is that girl in that? What, 3?
Not 3. I think he's only. I don't know the age. I think he's 6 to 8.
Okay, still.
Yeah.
Okay, so the provocative. We don't have it, and nor am I going to show it, but she's in provocative poses. But some are just saying it's no big deal. But I mean, she's in a position of like not on all fours, but let's say put your arms down and your butt's in the air. Another one is she's spread eagle. Another one, she's got some cream on her lips coming down. I mean, really, come on. I can tell from a mile away
but
what all that means.
When you look at the comments from the internet, most of the comments saying that is okay because they don't see the sexual undertone. They are women.
They are women?
Yeah.
They're probably enjoying those pictures.
No, the woman would. I think the reason why.
I don't care if it's a man or a woman. It's disgusting.
I think the reason why the women wouldn't see that as a sexual undertones because they don't really relate that things immediately like the man would. Would that be the reason?
No. It has nothing to do with that. Any sane person looks at that and says that is sexual imagery prancing around as no big deal.
But one of the interesting thing about the photographer is that the photographer was found out that he worked in this publisher who only taking sexual pictures of girls.
Enough said. Enough said. It's trying, just like the glamour magazines are now trying to put into our heads that let's lower the age of consent, let's lower the age of girls or boys in sexual, provocative, intimate positions to make it acceptable down the line. You know, it's getting to a point where it's really disgusting. I would say about 95% of the world does not accept it, but that vocal 5% seems to be trying to turn reality and morality on its head. Now, we can get into a whole debate about morality, what is all that, but, you know, that's a whole different topic and a whole different day. But that's my, you know, bottom line on this, is it is no place in a book.
To me, I would just say the mother has some problem because
allowing her kid.
Yeah, and she should do some due diligence on the you know, that photographer and the company.
If a photographer told my kid to put in that position, that photographer would be walking out with a black eye. We'll be back in the second half with our guest.